So this is a proclamation. This is where you say you will not hold back. This is where you build your skill set and your confidence by doing what's required on a daily basis. That is the solution. Being able to continue to move forward when your mind is telling you, hold back, you're doing good enough. All right, good morning and welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. There is no intro, so I'm going to wait here a few seconds and then we'll get started. Today's topic is walking around scared. Walking around scared. So I'll give it about 30 seconds to invite some of you to get on. And once you do, please check in. All right. And I'll redo the intro. And can you let me know if this is cutting out before I get started? Is this okay? Is the communication okay here? Good morning, Claudia. Good morning, Michelle. Am I cutting out? I know the last time I was out in Kansas City, it was bad. But I want to make sure that I'm able to convey the message I'm about to convey powerfully and that you're able to receive it. So if you could just confirm, are you hearing me okay? And is it choppy? So far, so good. Rudy, I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get it started from the top. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery. I am your host, AZ Araujo, and today's subject is walking around scared. So, this coronavirus thing, right? I don't think we can get away from it. It's been around everywhere. You turn on the news and it's there. You check your emails, you're reminded there. And every conversation seems to be talking about this coronavirus, and it's everywhere. I'm reminded of it daily. I went out on when I got here to Denver on Friday night, right? I went out to PF Chang's to have some dinner. And when I walked in, this is prime time, Friday night, 7:30 at night, and the restaurant was empty. It was empty. And I'm like, what is going on here? If you go to restaurants like PF Chang's or Hillstone, there's certain restaurants that are always just packed, right? So I was surprised. I walk in, I get immediately seated, and I start to order and enjoy my food. And I asked the waitress, I'm like, hey, so what's going on? Is it always this dead on a Friday night? She said, well, I think it's the coronavirus. I think it's the coronavirus scare, right? And it just baffled me because, although I do see it all around me, I think it's too easy to go ahead and start blaming certain things of why they're not working, right? And I'm seeing all this around me, like in volleyball. Volleyball is also taking some precautions. And what they're doing is, as opposed to each team giving each other high five before a game, to greet each other, all they're doing is they're standing on a 10-foot line and they're waving at each other. So from across the net, they're waving at each other. And I start thinking, is that really necessary, right? It seems like a good idea, but within seconds, I see them all giving each other high fives, touching their eyes, touching their mouths, and hitting the same ball. So again, we tend to blame things, or we tend to come up with solutions, not realizing it's sometimes simpler than that, right? And I start thinking about how fear paralyzes all of us. We're walking around scared, we're apprehensive, we hold back. And all this is really reminding me back in 2007, 2008, 2009, when the market was really tanking. And everyone was really scared, especially in our industry. There was a mass exodus. I mean, there was thousands and thousands of agents just going back to normal jobs because in their minds, no one was buying, no one was selling. And this was on the news, and every conversation, the brokers, the industry in general was saying the same things. But yet when you look on record, there were still sales, thousands of sales going on and thousands of buys going on. But because the vast majority wasn't making the money they were used to, right? There was this hysteria. There was people were just walking around scared. And, I found that when I stopped listening to the noise, not only did I find a solution, but I excelled in a massive way. I took advantage of others holding back. And I think when we start thinking about holding back, there's others right now that are taking advantage of you holding back. And I know some of you on this call are making more money than you ever thought possible. But there's got to be a piece within us that understands that maybe we are scared of something. And maybe outside of the coronavirus, maybe it's the marketing. Maybe we're not out there as much as we should, or we're not pulling the trigger on the things that come to mind about marketing because of how it may be received on the other end. So we hold back. And there's other individuals that don't. There's other individuals that don't even think twice. They just do. And this is where I want to take this conversation that, you know, the tools that are available to you right now with social media marketing, understand that this is a free tool, right? You really, really have to do a really good job of screwing this up. So if you're not making the type of money you'd want in the best economy possible, where the demand is through the roof, where money is readily available, and the consumers are not afraid to spend. If you are struggling right now, or are you holding back because, you know, it's these emotions that are getting within us of not putting ourselves out there, you're going to regret it. This economy right now is going to be for the history books. Mark my words. This economy, the economy you're living in, the economy where you have every possibility to shoot up to the top, will go down in the history books. You have to commit to be that story where you said, I excelled so much during that time. And not tell the story of, well, I held back a little bit. And I held back on today's technology that I was too afraid to follow along with tomorrow's technology. And that's what's happening. If you don't consider that marketing and putting yourself out there on a consistent basis is putting you on the forefront of this, then you're mistaken. Because those that aren't afraid are putting themselves out there authentically, are reaping the benefits today. And those are the ones that are going to continue to reap the benefits as the technology progresses, as the social media platforms progress, as your level of communication has to progress. Because I'm that guy, as the market tanked, I was riding high. And I continue to do that because I continue to innovate. Because I wasn't scared. I wasn't apprehensive about what the masses were saying. So if you're telling the story to yourself that you can't market, you can't put yourself out there because of what others might say, consider that you're holding yourself back. And you're going to regret as this economy goes down in the history books and you hit a ceiling. I want you to break through. I want you to consider, what would it feel like? What would it be like? What would the results be like if I am consistent with who I am, showcasing yourself as the authority on a daily basis, regardless of who else is doing it? Because I go by this philosophy. I don't care who's doing it right now. I will outlast them. Regardless of how many other brokers, how many other agents are out there, I will outlast them. Because everyone gets a wild hair up their butts, right? And start marketing on a daily basis until they get triggered. Until somebody makes a comment. Until somebody frowns upon their conversation. Then they stop. I keep going. Because my success is not going to rely on somebody else's opinion. And neither should yours. You need to become the authority today within this economy. It's going to set a platform for you as things begin to shift, which they will. But if you're going to try to do what you should be doing today, later on, good luck to you. Because those that continue to do it right now will be 100 steps ahead of you, not just the 10. So this is a proclamation. This is where you say you will not hold back. This is where you build your skill set and your confidence by doing what's required on a daily basis. That is the solution. being able to continue to move forward when your mind is telling you, hold back, you're doing good enough. This is a conditioning process for all of us, guys. And everyone else is doing it. Yes, I get it. But no one is consistent with it. They will quit. They will quit. And your job is not to beat the competition. Your job is to outlast them. And outlasting means you will show up every day, not based on how you feel, but based on what is required. Because the majority of people will listen to what's on the news. They will give themselves out. And there's a lot of agents that are listening to others that have something to say about their video, about what they're wearing, about what they said. Outlast them. Outlast naysayers by doing what is required. So, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing how everything around us is just a lesson, right? And one of the things that I wrote down, like I'm going through this process and it's just fueling me. Guys, like, buy into this, please. Buy into this. It takes your awareness to another level. It takes your ability to see opportunities to another level. It gives you the confidence that when those big opportunities make themselves available, you will take the necessary action to take it down. And it feels incredible. But, you know, there's a section here where there's a quote and it says, how does the quote apply to you? This is all in the 12-week target book. And there was one that I filled in yesterday and I wrote it down here because it's hard to read my handwriting. So I want to make sure I can read it to you and you're able to understand me. But the quote was this: you've done it. You've demonstrated it. So what will happen if you are more consistent with it? I'll read it again. You've done it. You've demonstrated it. So what would happen if you were more consistent with it? And this is the revelation that I got. And every one of us, our revelations will be very different because our experiences are different. The whole point to this is for you just to put yourself in a present state and understand what is it meaning to you right now. So this is what I got. I said, I've been through it all and persevered. I've been through it all and persevered. No emotion or feeling is new. There is no reason to act like it is. The only thing that is new is the situation, not the emotions and not the feelings. So get after it. Those are things that I got while I'm sitting outside in downtown Colorado and realize that every emotion that you're feeling, everything that you're thinking, it's not new. You've been through it before in a different situation, but you've been through it. So this whole thought process of holding back, of not putting yourself out there as the authority, has to stop. It will pay its dividends when you show up powerfully on a daily basis in ways you never imagined. And why not do it right now? When the economy is at its best, consumer confidence is through the roof, interest rates are ultra low. Why not do it right now? Set that platform, set that foundation. So when things do change, you'll be at the top. You'll be at the peak, not scrambling, trying to figure out what to do next. So it's a conditioning process. And I need you to follow along with me. If you don't have one of these books, I need you to, we're going to have another class, a 90-day class where I'm going to break it down. It's a long class. It's not a quick 30-minute class. But for those of you that are following and maybe have not been consistent with it, at least you're still doing it. And you'll become more consistent as you start seeing the results and the power that it provides you. So guys, what are you hearing in this conversation about holding back, about, just being scared, walking around scared. I refuse to be scared. I refuse to hold back regardless of whatever's going on. This is a place where we're going to set it. Roger, good morning. Teresa, Fred, good morning. Jason, let me see, I got some feedback here. If you have a thought, please share with me. This is the kind of year we have to change. We have to change your lives. Right now, 1 year of really hard work is life-changing. If you dedicate now to working hard and getting after it, you can change your family's lives and set the stage for your career like AZ, Ruben, and myself have and will continue to do so again. Do it now. Don't hesitate. Market yourself and get after it. And, you know, he mentioned, you know, myself, Ruben, we're those small select few that really excelled during that time frame. As everyone else was just conceded to what they heard, I figured out a way. And during that time, I've made the most money ever in my life, while others were struggling. Others had the story of how it's so bad. It's bad for the masses. Guys, don't worry about the masses. There's always a small fraction that persevere, that take advantage of the situation, right? Of others' fear. Let's be that group. Let's be that brokerage. Right now, there's enough for everybody, but it's not going to be like that one day. And those that have built their skill sets, those that have built their mindsets will excel. Roger, I'm hearing get out of my own way and head. What others say is not my concern. It is clear what to do. Stop thinking. Do. I love it, Roger. And man, you can own this market. And it is. Sometimes we all get into our heads. Dude, I get in my head sometimes. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But if I don't have the courage, if I don't have the confidence behind me, I will succumb to it. This right here, the prime 3, and the things you have to document, feeling grateful for your journey, finding appreciation in others, helps you get out of that rut faster. I love it. Such a great time during the scare. Buyers are putting their attention on the mortgage rates. All we have to do is show up and ask the right questions. I've never seen so many buyers walk through my open house and ask about interest rates and buying at the level I have in the last few days. We're in a position, and this is going to go down for the history books. Mark my words. And we're going to be, and you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids about how you had the courage to push through and not only, you know, ride the wave, but continue the wave as things started progressing and slowing down. Rudy, double down. Simple. Guys, like, I don't care who else is out there. I don't care who else is doing the selfie videos. I don't care who else is posting the pick of the days. Don't worry about everybody else. Stay in integrity with what you need to do. You will outlast them. Their motivation, it's short term. Why? Because they're not inspired on a daily. They don't appreciate their path. They don't appreciate their journey. They're just trying to go through the motions because somebody told them to do it. We're taking a different journey. They see it as all the same, but we're building skill sets. We're building mindset. Sergio, that when I put in these small deposits, the fear will subside because I am sticking to my word, and it makes my word more powerful in my life and in my business. You need to put that on a post, my brother. Doing the journal has expanded my mind and business. That is powerful, powerful insights. Like, why are we quoting other people, right? That right there. Put it out there. It's your quote, Sergio. Sign it. But that's confidence right there. And it takes courage, right? To do something like that. I let someone's comments on my video stop me for a bit. But the more I do it, the more I follow the 12-week target book. I don't care. I just do the things each day. And it's never about you or what you did or what you said. It's about their insecurities and their lack of courage of being able to do the same thing you're doing. It always works out the same way. It's their insecurities, right? And the easiest way to stop someone is to say something negative. And for the most part, most succeed. And that fuels them. But when you push through, you'll outlast them like you're outlasting your competition. You'll outlast the naysayers, the haters, or whatever you may call them. But it's about you. Sergio, I am consistent and know it to be true that I will outlast everyone. So that's the mantra. That's what I need you to think. It's not about what everybody else is doing. It's that you will outlast them because they will do it short term. So I'm just going to check to see if there's any other comments. I want to thank you for joining me. It's been an incredible day. Yesterday, my daughter went 3-0. Their team went 3-0. They won 3 games and didn't lose any. And that was a great turnaround from the day before that, where they were 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses. And today are championship rounds. So I'm excited, and that starts here pretty soon. Let's see here. I do have some more comments, so I'm going to go through them. And I have Lonnie. That is good. Deposits are required to sustain, not necessarily to build. Well, that was a lot. That was last week's Mindset Mastery. All right. Who else do we got here? Michelle, it's simple. Get out of your own head. Don't think about it and just do it. We can't compare ourselves to what others are doing. No one can do you, and that's what we need to remember. Other people's opinions are just their opinions. And that really reduces the blame of us going back to our family and friends and asking them or blaming them for not using you, right? And I've been in many conversations that's happened to me where I'm like, Aunt, what the hell? Like, I'm a realtor. Why did you choose me? And now here I am putting this wedge between us where I'm pissed off at her. She feels bad. But whose fault was that? Because I held back. I held back. And understand that when you hold back, your clients, your family members are probably going to go to someone that is less committed than you. That's where the feeling of fault should be. Don't let them work with someone that's not as committed as you. Guys, that's all I got. I want you to enjoy your day. But what's the mantra? We're going to outlast them. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye now.